Hey guys, got another flashlight to take a look at. This one was sent to me from Nitecore, and the model is the EDC23. Nitecore has an entire line of these very slim style lights. They have the EDC25, the EDC27, EDC29, and then they just recently released this EDC23. And this one is the smallest of the four and is the most pocket friendly. And I'm hoping that this might be the perfect EDC or everyday carry flashlight. But I figure we'll do a real quick unboxing. We'll go over all the features and specifications, go over like the user interface, give you guys some beam shots, and then give you guys some thoughts on it. So as you can see here, we have a max of 2500 lumens. Here it says that it's strobe ready, and it's using two UHI 25 LEDs. Show you some of this stuff. And looks like we have a max distance of 280 meters. We'll go over some of this other stuff here in a bit. All right, let's pull everything out and see what all is included. So you can see that there. Looks like we have a manual or something in here still. What is this? Quick start guide. I'll leave that up there. You guys can pause just in case you need it for future reference. So we'll get to the light here in a minute. We have a USB A to C cable. Looks like a lanyard. So you can scan that QR code for Facebook. And the full manual. And I will show you this here quickly, just the English side. So again, just in case you ever purchase this and then lose the manual, you can come back to this video, pause anywhere you need to and read it. And I will be going over almost all of this stuff in the video. All right, let's take a look at this EDC23. Pull it out of here. All right. This is the light itself, and you can see just how thin that is. Got a pocket clip on it. I'm just kind of looking everything over. A little bit of texturing to provide a little bit of grip in your hand. Switches up here. That's our USB-C port there. We're going to have a lockout there. I'll show you that in a bit. Those are the LEDs. There's a proximity sensor right there. I'll show you how that works. We got some orange peel reflector down in there. Some quick measurements. We have a total length of 4.05, a total width of 1.3 inches, a height or a depth of it, and I think it's including this little clip back here, is 0.89 inches, and a weight on it, 3.6 ounces. So a few of the features of this light is that it does have this OLED display, which I'll show you guys this in a bit, and then it also has a built-in 1500 milliamp hour battery. It's going to have 5 different brightness modes and then also a strobe mode, and all of that is accomplished by these buttons up here. It's going to have mode memory, so whatever you turn it off on, you can have it come back on that same output. It's also going to have a lockout over here. There's 2 different modes of lockout. I'll show you that. This does have advanced temperature regulation, meaning like when you're up on the turbo mode, it will automatically step down to prevent the light from getting too hot. And then the waterproof rating is IP54. So this is not going to take being dropped in water. It's really like splashes of water, splashes of dust. It's not designed to be buried in the sand or submerged fully in water. I'm going to show you this chart again because I'm about to go over the user interface, and I'm only going to mention the lumen output and then also the beam throw, so you can see like the run times and the candela if you want to reference back to this. So I mentioned earlier there's two switches or buttons up here. Basically this one here is considered the power button, the one that's a little bit higher. This is where you're going to get your ultra low, your low, medium, and high. Over here is where you're going to get turbo and your strobe. This light does have like a tactical feature where you can half press the buttons and then release, and it's like a momentary feature of it where you don't have to actually click it all the way on. So we'll run through these different outputs and then I'll show you the OLED display, but let's start with the lowest, which is that 15 lumens. And again, I'm only going to half press here. So right there, it's on. And the throw on that would be about 24 meters. You can see the display here. When it's fully charged, it actually goes about 39 hours. And that display only stays on for so long. And now when I release here, you'll see that releases. Now I could also just fully click it and turn it on and just it stays on then. So again, when you first turn the light on, it's going to tell you what level you're on. It just showed me I was on 15 lumens, says level 1, and then it shows our remaining time up here. And so now if I want to switch to the next level, which is going to be low, I just kind of half press this. And that level right there is 65 lumens, and our throw on that is 50 meters. And it's going to be the same thing to go to the next level. This is pretty simple. You just push on that. That bumps you up to 200 lumens. Throw on that is 90 meters. I guess I can show you the display there. So level 3 is what it's showing us, and we still have high on this side. Whoops, I shut it off. There's high. We'll be on level 4. And then let me show you I think that's 1,000 lumens, or 1,100. It's 1,100, but I'll show you that when we first turn it on here. Yep, see 1,100 lumens, level 4. And that will throw for like 185 meters, so pretty good light on that. So those are the 4 modes through the power button. And then like I said, we have strobe and turbo on this side. And again, we can kind of half press. I kind of want to show you guys the display when it comes on here, but so half press, 2,500 lumens, and it'll show you the time remaining on that. So it doesn't last very long, maybe 10 seconds, and then it does step down. And then you can continue to hold, and it just stays on the high setting then. It doesn't like shut completely off on you. Then after you do shut it off, this will build back up, basically letting you know that the flashlight is cooling back down, and then it'll let you know when it's time that you can use that turbo again. So now it's ready. Both the turbo and the strobe are meant to be momentary on this side. You cannot leave them on like you could the other side here. So this is strobe warning now. To get to strobe, you just fully depress this button here. It's a really nice pattern. It's also 2,500 lumens on the strobe. And then to get out of strobe, you just release that. So I want to show you a feature that is absolutely fantastic on this light that I haven't seen many people talking about. So let's say you're in bed at night, you hear something, you grab this and you turn it on, and you're on one of the lower settings. I'm on the ultra low 15, okay? So I'm kind of looking in my room, or maybe I'm walking out, and then I think I see something. From right here, I can immediately go to that turbo, okay? And then let's say I didn't spot anything. When I let off, I go back to that 15 lumens. Most flashlights are designed to where once you go to a turbo or to a strobe, it shuts the other light back off. So now I could continue looking in my house or whatever. And then let's say I want to put strobe on something. It's the same thing. I can go from here, so strobe warning, into my strobe, When I let off of strobe, I'm still back in my setting that I had it on, and you can do that from any of the 4 levels that's on here. I don't have to be on level 1. If I want to bump up to level 2 and be at 65 lumens and then go into turbo or into strobe, you can do that from any level. It's an awesome feature. Another pretty interesting feature on this is, let's say I shut this light off and I'm on the level 1, the ultra low 15 lumens, but I know the next time I'm going to need it, I need it to be like really bright, so I want to go to the high setting, the 1100 lumens. You can basically half press this button. Nothing's on right now at all. You can half press it. It'll show you what level you're on, and then I can basically continue to half press and it'll take me to the different levels. So let's say I know I want 1100 lumens. Now when I turn it on, I'm going to be on that much brighter 1100 lumens. So basically you can like pre-stage the light. Pretty cool. So I mentioned earlier that this has a proximity sensor. This is basically to prevent this from like coming on and burning your pocket, which I've had happen to holsters and pockets and stuff in the past with other lights. So basically it only works when you're on the highest setting. The lowest settings don't produce enough heat to burn anything. So I'm going to try to demonstrate this in my hand so you can see it here well, but I'm on the high setting right now. And when I click this on, you'll see it'll start off real bright, but then will immediately reduce down. Do you see that click right there? Try to show it to you again. And now it only does it when it comes on and it's close to something. So let's say I'm already using the light and then I bring it close to something, it's not going to reduce down then because it knew that you already had it out and was using it. So that will not reduce, it'll stay on the 1100 lumens. There is a little bit of a workaround on that sensor. I'll try to show you to where the display, to where you can see it. So when this first comes on, it's going to be 1100 and then you're going to see it immediately change to 200. All right. Now if I actually half press this button again, I can get it to go back to 1100 lumens. It's obviously very hot down here right now, but so there is a little bit of a workaround if you need to get 1100 for whatever reason. I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, but you can. Another really awesome feature of the EDC23 is that it has a manual lockout. There's actually 2 different modes that you can do. You can do a semi-lockout where it basically locks out all of the lower outputs, but you still have access to your turbo and strobe, or you can lock everything out to where none of the buttons will work. To get to that like semi-lockout, we're basically going to like half press this, so the turbo is going to come on, and we're just going to slide this up now. And now when I go here and try to turn this on, it'll tell me that it's semi-locked. You see that? Semi-locked. So now none of these buttons over here will work. But again, I can push this here and still get my turbo and strobe warning and the strobe. And if you want to get to the full lockout mode where none of the buttons work, you actually turn the light on and then just slide this up and it'll say full lock. And now turbo doesn't work, strobe doesn't work. It'll say full lock on everything you try doing. And if you want to get back out of either of those, you just slide it back down, and now we're going to have everything working. Quickly show you guys that lanyard. It does have like almost like a little carabiner on the end of it, just in case any of you were interested. I'm going to get this charged up here before we do any type of beam shots. I want to make sure we're on the highest. So that's our charging port right there. And again, we'll just take the USB-C cable, plug into it. I'm going to show you guys this display because it'll tell us that we're charging. Usually it'll go to at least 4.2 volts, maybe just over that because then it settles back down. I think if it's like fully dead, I think it takes like an hour and a half or so to fully charge up. And again, it is an internal battery. You cannot remove it or replace it. Once this is fully charged, you could actually leave this for over a year and it will still have a charge. It maintains that charge really well. And another thing, while it's charging, you still can use the light. You can't get turbo or strobe, but all your other levels, like I can still turn this on and still go through all the different modes here. And you can see I'm plugged in and charging. Alright, got it charged up, ready for some beam shots. I did want to show you guys though what this looks like in a pant pocket. The clip is actually very stiff here right at first, and as you can see there's quite a bit of the light that still sticks up. Like I cannot push this down any further. I'd say that's probably close to an inch or more that's sticking up out of your pocket. But it's very slim in the pocket and doesn't go down, you know, very deep into it, but I do think I would prefer a deeper carry clip on that. So my everyday carry knife is a Benchmade mini Griptilian. When I first bought it, it came with this clip right here. I reached out to Benchmade and said, hey, can you send me one of your deep carry clips? And they actually sent me 2 of them. And the holes on this look like they're going to line up with the holes on this EDC23. So I'm going to pull these screws out, and if so, this will get this up much higher, and I'll show you it in the pocket again. And these are just some Allen head screws that are on here, so get these out and back with you. So that was an absolutely perfect fit. Just swapped it out, took literally less than a minute. Let's see how much deeper it sits in the pocket now. So that is how it looks and fits. That is so much nicer. You only have just barely the top of the light sticking up in there. So I'm just going to leave this one on here as I carry and use this light, you know, over the next, 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. But yeah, you can just see how much deeper into the pocket that goes. Alright, try to give you guys some nighttime shots here with this EDC23. I'm going to start off in the lowest setting first. And then we'll kind of go up from there. See, it actually does have a pretty decent hot spot. Pretty good spill. Go to the next one. This is about kind of like the medium or so. And then that's the highest one. This is not turbo though. I'll show you turbo in a minute. And this will be the turbo and the strobe. Alright, and a couple shots outside. I'm about 40 feet away from this tree right now. I'm just going to do the turbo and the strobe outside here, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how this illuminates stuff. And we'll go into the strobe next. So hopefully seeing those nighttime shots were somewhat helpful for you. Keep in mind, I am recording with an iPhone 13. They do not have the best night vision camera. And even though like that turbo and strobe are really bright on camera, they're even brighter in person. Alright, so I've been carrying and using this EDC23 for the past 3 weeks or so, and just want to share some of my thoughts now with you guys. So let me say, overall, I freaking love it, and I think it's really close to being the perfect EDC flashlight. These flat style flashlights just sit in your pocket so well, you really don't even notice it's there. It's almost like having a second pocket knife. So I carry this in my right front pocket, this goes in the left front pocket, and as you can tell, they're almost the same size, versus having something like this in your front pocket, and you can just see the height difference on those. And even versus something like this is just about the smallest 18650 that you can get, and it is just so much thicker than what the Nitecore is. This thing is built like a tank. I don't think I mentioned at the beginning of this video, most flashlights are made out of some type of aluminum, 60, 61, whatever. This is actually made out of stainless steel, and it has some type of titanium type coating on the outside of it. You can tell it's just very, very rugged and durable. I really like the user interface and having the dual switches. I think it's a great idea. I like how the switches are different sizes and different heights. And the switch that you're going to probably use the majority of the time is easier to hit and find. So if you want your lower outputs, it's super easy to find it. I love this OLED display. Gives you all the information you need. The level that you're on, the output, the remaining time. I really like this lockout feature, and I like how there's basically two different levels of it. Like I showed earlier in the video, you can do like a semi-lock or a full lock. Great design on that. The USB-C charging is great for onboard charging. It does work pretty fast. I think the whole thing will charge maybe an hour and a half or so. So I think it's around a 1.5 amp charge on it. And another really nice feature is that little proximity sensor. I've done other videos on other flashlights where I've actually burnt through pockets or holsters. And that's so nice that when you're close to something and it turns on, it automatically steps down like that. And probably one of the features that I like the best is what I talked about earlier, how you can have this on one of the low settings, be searching through your house or whatever, and then go up to that turbo, that 2500 lumens, go off of that and go back to that low setting. There's very few lights that do that. It's an awesome feature to have. Few things to let you guys know about. I don't know if they're necessarily negatives or not, but first is you cannot replace or service this battery. I think that Nitecore offers maybe around a 2-year warranty or so, but this should last for years and years and years. The other thing to say is that even though this is a 2500 lumen light, I'll turn this on here, you can see how rapidly that 2500 lumens goes down here. And then once this gets hot, so it's going to take a while for this to come back up now, and that maybe lasted, I don't know, let's just say 8 seconds or so. And now if I go to do it immediately again, I'm not going to get that same time. It might only be 5 or 6 seconds. And then it's going to take longer for it to come back up this time because the light's starting to get hot now. You can see it's taking a little bit longer. And I'm kind of trying to wait here to show you a third time. So now let's say I go to do it again. It might only give me 4 or 5 seconds this time. So even though it's 2500 lumens, it doesn't last very long at all. And the hotter it gets, the shorter that time that you can use it, and the longer it takes to rebuild to where you can use it again. So it's kind of more like an 1100 lumen light, but that is super, super impressive still in a light this small and compact to be able to have 1100 lumens that last for quite a while. And personally, I just don't care for this clip. I've switched it back to this one just to finish this video, but I will be switching back to the deep carry one, and I'll put a side-by-side picture up here to show you guys again. And some people will prefer having that much stick out because it makes it easier to grab the light and pull it up out of your pocket. I just don't like the way that looks sticking up like that. And when it's deeper in there, I feel like it sits better down in my pocket. So that's really like my only real complaint is that clip. So at the time of me recording this video, these EDC23s are available on the Nitecore website for $75, and they're also available on Amazon for $75 with free Prime shipping. And I will leave those links down in the video description if you're interested in finding out more information on the light or if you're wanting to pick one up. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.